Good evening, and thank you for joining. Today we're going to talk about our growing category of LED recessed downlighting. Just to give you an idea of how downlighting has been affected by LED, information from the Department of Energy shows that through 2016, we've only retrofitted about 15% of the downlights in the U.S. So a lot of room to grow, and you need a wide variety of products in order to do that. And that's what we're going to look at today. Recessed lighting is very popular. We know how popular it is in homes, in retail, and also in commercial applications. Our first category is our integrated retrofit downlighting array of products. It's been around for a long time. We call it a retrofit, but actually it's a retrofit and can be used in new construction. We have our Freedom line, which is actually an architectural series, which allows you the freedom to design your space how you want it to look, in many color temperatures, in many beam spreads, beam angles, and trims, finish, shapes, sizes, and colors. A truly flexible, wide-ranging architectural downlight series, perfect for the designer, both lighting designer and interior designer, to use to shape the space the way they need to for their lighting. In our commercial downlights that was recently introduced, it allows for us to have a product that would go into higher ceilings, whether it be a lobby, whether it be an office, anywhere where higher lumen packages are needed in order to have good lighting. And finally, our last category is our direct wire series. This is a growing category. We currently have two different types, and we'll be introducing a remote driver system because of market demand and growing market acceptable for a two-piece direct wire, no can product. Okay, let's look at some of the product types that we have, and I'm going to start with our Gimbal integrated product family. Again, we call it a retrofit, but it's also a retrofit / new construction integrated system. We have it in 4-inch and 5-inch pressure clips and torsion springs, depending upon the model. And if you need something else, we also have available pressure clips to replace the torsion springs. In a gimbal, the light head or the trim rotates, the module rotates almost 360 degrees and is adjustable to 30 degrees. Think about sloped ceilings where the fixture will lay on an angle, and by allowing the adjustability of the module, you can then point it straight down or at an angle to highlight some architectural feature, possibly a piece of artwork, or to throw light in an area that you need additional lighting. So Gimbal allows for adjustability. It's dual rated for the US and Canada, long life, damp rated, Energy Star with our 90 CRI product line. And we do have the accessories if you need torsion springs. Let's look at the detail of our 4-inch recessed downlights. And in the gimbal area, you'll note that we have 40-degree beam spreads as well as 90-degree beam spreads. And this is to allow for directing or aiming the light or putting the right amount of light where you need it. So if you're at a higher ceiling, you'd probably want the 40-degree, and probably 5 feet and below, the 90-degree will probably do fine. But let's look at beam spreads and how they can affect light. Here's an array of beam spreads from 15 degrees up to 60. And that array gives you an idea of what the beam spread or beam angle and what it does to the light. At 15 degrees, you'll have a very narrow, powerful beam of light. As you go to the 60 degree, you'll have a very wide beam of light, which with less intensity at the bottom of the cone. So the wider degree of light, the wider degree or beam angle, the bigger the throw of light, and the less light across that bottom cone. A smaller beam angle gives you a much narrower degree of light at a very high intensity. Think about an arrow as a headlight. It's concentrated to throw light forward. So when you think about downlights, it's very important to consider what the beam spread or beam angle is. Again, in our 4-inch gimbal, we have two choices. So depending upon the application, you can direct customers to the 40 degree or the 90 degree. We'll keep that in mind as we go through the other downlights. For the standard non-gimbal, we have the 4 and 5-inch downlight. Again, pressure clips in the 4-inch and torsion springs in the 6-inch. If we need pressure clips for the 6-inch, they are available. Our premium line is 90 CRI in order to meet California energy codes, and all of our non-gimbal 90 CRI retrofit downlights are all wet location certified. We have options of round or square, depending on what your space, you want your space to look like. And again, accessories to ensure that we have the proper clip or retrofit hardware needed to put into an existing can. UL certified, US and Canada, long life, 90 CRI, applicable for use in California, both Title 20 and Title 24. And the 4-inch, of course, fits a 4-inch cans in square, and the 6-inch fits round 6-inch cans. Notice the clip, this orange clip. This orange clip is of special importance. That orange connector or clip allows you to use our downlights. Even though in the catalog we say they're retrofits, it allows you to use them in LED ready can assemblies. And the 4 cans that we have, the 2 4-inch and the 2 6-inch cans, all have that clip inside, as you can see here. So the integrated, what we call a downlight retrofit, can also be used in new construction when used with these cans. Now, the top 2 are new construction cans, the bottom 2 are remodel cans, and we all know the difference. One, you have an open, you're framing in everything. You use the new construction. You have the joist hangers to mount onto the joist, the bars, and they're adjustable. You can see the heights. I won't go through those dimensions. The remodel can is you already have the ceiling in place. You want to add lights. You cut the hole in the ceiling based on the size of the can. You can see how the cans are modified so that the box will then fit into the hole that you cut, and then the can will fit up into the hole and secure itself with the clips. After it's wired, the clips are installed. You take our integrated downlight, what we say is a retrofit. You put the 2 orange connectors together, and then you install the housing, the integrated housing, into the can, and you're done. So we call it a retrofit. It can also be used in new construction and remodels, and we have the housings to go with it. We also have a couple of products in addition to that category where we can use it where price or value is extremely important. We have a value or Econoline. It's 9 watt, 6-inch only. It's white. It's Energy Star. It's not Title 24, so you can't use it in California. It includes an E26 adapter, but it doesn't have the orange LED ready quick connect connector. It has a different connector, but you cannot use it in our downlight cans. And you really can't use this for new construction. This is truly a retrofit product because of the E26 or medium base adapter that comes with it. It's also a plastic trim. We also have a quick trim. Quick trim is for those that don't feel comfortable retrofitting a trim and or some of the hardware that's in the downlight can. Here, it's already got the medium base socket, medium base base on it. This part of this retrofit extends. You screw this up into the existing can, and then you move the stem up until the trim is flush with the ceiling. Again, options to be able to retrofit any downlights, whether it be our integrated or some of these other options. The last one I'm going to show you is our low voltage option, which is a 4-inch trim that would be popular in elevators or anywhere there's an MR16, because this comes with a bi-pin adapter. So for those applications where low voltage is involved, here you have a way to retrofit if it's in a 4-inch trim. Now, MR16s, very small, usually 4 inches what they use, so it is applicable. The next category we'll talk about is one of the newer ones in downlighting, which is the direct wire. We have two distinct direct wire offerings. One is our edge-lit product, and the edge-lit comes in 4 and 6 inch, the popular sizes, and the height of the edge-lit is only 1 3/4 inches. So not a lot of headroom needed to install this. It's UL rated for Canada and the US. It's damp rated, long life 5,000 hours. And all of our downlights are 120 volts only, except for our commercial downlights, which I'll get to a little later. Again, this is ease of installation. No junction box needed. No can assembly needed. No brackets. Cut the hole to the right length, wire the fixture into the integrated junction box that sits on top of the module, and then place the module up into the hole with the hardware, and you're done. So that's why we call it direct wire. It is truly a direct wire with no other hardware needed. So first category, edge-lit. Second category is direct wire downlight, non-edge-lit. Same features and benefits, no other hardware needed. All of the wiring, electrical wiring connections go into the attached junction box that are right on the fixture. The difference here is the height of these fixtures are 3 5/8 inches. So higher depth, you're going to need more space between the hard ceiling and what's ever up above it. Really, that's the big difference between these two. 120 volt only, and there'll be new generations of products coming where these products will be applicable or approved for use in California, Title 24. And we also have some new products coming, which I'll get to later. Here's a preview. The preview is the marketplace is looking for even thinner types of wafers or trims. In order to do that, you'll have to have a driver that's separated from the wafer or the LED array. So in February, Chris and his team will be introducing 36 new remote driver downlights, and I'll go into a little more detail later. So direct wire is popular, it's growing, and we'll have the products coming in order to satisfy market needs. Our most advanced and most flexible series is our Freedom architectural line. And Freedom is a very appropriate name. It's freedom to light the space how you want it. Because we have 2 different sizes, many color temperatures, many beam angles, and many trim shapes and finishes. Let's go through some of those. So housing. We have a 4-inch housing and a 6-inch housing. The 4-inch housing is available in 10 watts and 16 watts. The 6-inch, which we call a 5/6, is available only in 13.5 watts. And in color temperatures, both 4 and 6-inch housings come in 27, 3000, 4000, 5000, and a warm dim option, which allows you to dim the module between 2200 degrees Kelvin and 2700 degrees Kelvin. That warm dim option replicates what the color temperature change is in an incandescent halogen lamp. So for those customers that want to replicate incandescent halogen in dimming, the warm dim is the option they should choose. Beam angles. This is the only category where we have more than 2 beam angles. I already showed you our 4-inch gimbal ring has 2 beam angles. In Freedom, both the 4 and the 5-inch, 4 and the 6-inch housings have 4 distinct beam angles. And I'll go into that in another slide. Trims. Rounds and squares, 2 options. Then in round and square, we have white, brushed nickel, polished nickel, or bronze. And another unique feature of the Freedom line is that we have trims in 4-inch, truly a 5-inch trim that's different from the 6-inch trims. So let's go back to beam angles. You all know what beam angles mean and its effect on light. The smaller the beam angle, the more concentrated the beam of light, and the higher intensity at the end of the beam. The wider the beam angle, the broader spread of light and less intensity. So how does this fit into Freedom? Well, here's a chart of the beam angles that are available in the 4-inch housings and the 6-inch housing. And to give you an idea that the beam angle will affect foot candles. And foot candles is what we measure in order to deliver the right amount of light to an application so that work can be done there. For the 4-inch 10 watt, we have a 30 degree, a 40 degree, a 60, and a 95 degree beam spread. And similar for the 16 watt. And in the 13.5 6-inch, we have 35, 45, 60, and 90 degrees. And what I've done for you is given you a center beam candela of each of these beam spreads. And if we were to measure the foot candles at 5 feet from the work surface, we show how many foot candles we would measure. Let's look at the 30 degree beam spread in the 4-inch housing. The 30 degree with the 10 watt would generate 60 foot candles, and the 16 watt would generate 80 foot candles. So it just, again, the smaller the beam, the higher the foot candle level. Let's see what happens at 95 degrees. At 95 degrees, the foot candle level at 5 feet from the work surface is only 12 foot candles. So it's a wider beam with less intensity. If we needed 40 foot candles, a minimum of 40 foot candles on the work surface for the task being done, I would look and say, okay, where can I get 40 foot candles? Well, I can put a 4-inch 10 watt Freedom housing and get 40 foot candles, or I could look at the 6-inch at 13.5 watts and get over 40. Both of them would suffice. Both of them would meet the need. And then we have to look at the other attributes involved. Do I want a 4-inch can or do I want a 6-inch can? Is wattage more important than the look in the ceiling? And if wattage is the most important thing, then certainly the 10 watt would be able to provide what that foot candle level would be, and that's the one you would select. If for some reason you have other downlight cans and they're all 6-inch and you don't want them to be different, then you can select the 13.5 watt 6-inch with the 45 degree and still give you the light level or foot candle level that you need. We can certainly spend some more time with this. Give me a call and we can discuss this further. Trims. 4-inch, round and square. 5-inch trim, 6-inch trim, round and square. 4 colors: white, brushed nickel, polished, and bronze. Let me point out that the 4-inch trim is one size, just under 5 inches total diameter. The 5-inch trim has a diameter of 6 5/8 of an inch, and the 6-inch trim has a 7-inch diameter. So it's not a 5/6-inch trim. They are truly separate trims. Again, little different look, shape, size. Again, freedom for what do you want the space to look like and how much light do you need. Another option in the Freedom is a gimbal ring. You want an adjustable light source to be able to shine it in a certain area or possibly have a sloped ceiling. We do offer Freedom in a 6-inch only round adjustable gimbal trim. One thing you should note is that when using this 6-inch round gimbal trim, you can only use the 4-inch high lumen housing. So the housing would fit into the gimbal trim, and then the trim would go into the 6-inch housing. This 4-inch housing inside this 6-inch trim allows you for the mobility to adjust the focus of the light from straight down to a 30-degree angle. This is noted in our catalog, but it's certainly usually a 6-inch trim would go to a 6-inch module, but in the gimbal, the 4-inch high lumen module goes with the 6-inch trim. Freedom. It certainly has many options. And the last option is Freedom can be used as a retrofit, and Freedom can be used in new construction or remodels. It has the same orange quick connect for LED ready cans. They can go in our 4 or 6-inch new construction cans or in our remodel cans. Flexibility is really what Freedom does. It's freedom to design your space in the way you want, whether it's retrofit or new construction or remodel. In addition to all those features, we also have a battery backup add-on for the 6-inch Freedom. Here, it comes in only available in the 6-inch housing, and it's a full 90-minute operation when the power goes out. Switching time very fast, and it gives you 100% of the lumen output, which would make it useful or would make it available for use in California. Another options in the many options that Freedom has. We've covered 2 of the downlight families that we have. The next one is the Commercial Downlight. This is relatively new, only about a year old, and it allows us to play in a space in higher ceiling spaces. Here we're looking at, we can use this as a retrofit or, again, in new construction. As a retrofit, we can replace two 18, 26, 32, or 42 watt compact fluorescents, and we can also replace low wattage metal halide if it exists. This family voltage is not 120, it's a range voltage of 100 to 277, making it very applicable for commercial spaces, which many of them use 277 for lighting. This is also a change in that the way to dim the commercial downlight is that it's a 0 to 10 dimming type. All our other downlights dim using line voltage. So the dimmers that we recommend on our website, and those are the only ones you can use to dim, all of the dimmers that we recommend for our other downlights are 120 volt. You dim the item by controlling the voltage. In a 0 to 10 volt dimming system, the driver has a dimming circuit built into it, and it's looking for an input from 0 to 10 volts. That input then drives a dimming circuit in the driver. When you look on our website for dimmers for the commercial downlights, those dimmers that we recommend are 0 to 10 volt dimmers or 0 to 10 volt controls. 0 to 10 volt dimming has been widely used, and it's a very common system dating back to fluorescent. Our commercial downlights are higher wattage, and they are all one beam spread, 40 degrees. They're 90 CRI, they're damp location approved, they're IC rated for insulation contact, dual rated for UL, Energy Star, 5-year warranties. We have mounting brackets available, housings, and I'll show you those in a little more detail. And retaining clips are included for the retrofit application, so you can put the module into an existing downlight can in a retrofit application and use the clips to secure it into the can. From a beam spread and foot candle level view, we see that all of the commercial downlights are 40-degree beam spreads, only one. And then the wattages are key to the size or diameter of the fixture, 4-inch, 6-inch, 8-inch, 10-inch. Center beam candle power. Here, I've raised the height of the distance between the work surface and the ceiling to 8 feet, as we're using this in higher ceilings and in commercial applications. And at 8 foot, you can see what the foot candle levels would be 8 feet above any of these fixtures. If we use the other example of I need a minimum of 40 foot candles, here the 25 watt 6-inch commercial downlight would give you above the minimum of 40 foot candles. But as we saw before, we can do it with freedom in 10 watts, and this would take 25. Again, the beam spread is a little different. That's why the wattage is higher. So another chart you can use to determine what size or what wattage fixture you need in order to light the space properly. Our commercial downlights are usable for retrofits or in the housings or brackets that we sell for new construction. These are of a size that you can't really use them in remodel. That would be pretty difficult. So these are full-size housings, and we have them for the 4-inch, the 6-inch, the 8-inch, and the 10-inch. So those are our 4 families: integrated downlights, retrofit, new construction, direct wire, new construction, renovation, Freedom, which gives us the most flexibility of any system we have, and the higher wattage commercial downlights in 4000K. Let's look at some of the things that are coming soon in order to give you options for more market penetration. Remote driver direct wire products. We've seen a number of these products in the marketplace. We know that our customers have been asking for them. And Chris and his team will introduce 36 new products in February, both 4, 6, and 8-inch round and square, 4-inch gimbal rings, round and square, and the 4-inch gimbal will have some unique colors, of course white. We'll have polished nickel and the addition of a product that's finished in black in the 4-inch gimbal. And also in the 3.5-inch downlight, round and square, we'll have black in that also, polished nickel and white. So 36 new products in remote driver direct wire downlights. Remember, no can needed. This is a 2-piece product. You wire the driver, you put the driver up into the ceiling. You then take that very thin, I believe it's approximately 1-inch module into the ceiling, and you're done. Very little headroom needed. Also, you see the lumen packages of the 4, 6, and 8-inch, and also the color temperatures. All of these products, these new expansion of our direct wire, come in white trim, and they will be California Title 24 usable. Here's some pictures of the 4-inch, 3.5-inch gimbal and 3.5-inch downlight. Very decorative looking, very elegant, a nice addition to our line. It'll expand your possibilities for those applications where the direct wires are wanted and certain colors and architectural look are needed. Again, these are coming in February. And here are some accessories for the direct wires. Rough-in plates. We've seen a growing need that when the ceilings are being constructed, that rough-in plates, as you can see in the photo, are put up to make for direct wires easier to install. This isn't a junction box. This isn't a can. This is just a guide so that when the ceiling, the drywallers come in, they find the area for the fixture easier and eases an installation. We'll also have 6-inch cable extensions if for some reason the driver needs to be pushed back further in the ceiling, and goof rings are available for when the hole in the ceiling is actually bigger than the size of the fixture and you need the goof ring in order to close that ceiling size down to make it fit. In our standard direct wire, we'll also be expanding into square downlights, expanded color temperatures, gimbal rings, and a new 8-inch edge lit product in round only. A unique item coming a little further down, April, a little further out, is rectangular direct wire. I'd say them downlights. These are down fixtures. They are 12-inch in length, 18, 24, and 31-inch in length. And you see the appropriate lumen packages. The lumens are sufficient to meet Title 24 and also meet the minimum CRI. So a brand new category to expand our downlight or down fixture line, meeting and exceeding the market needs. I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for sitting through this. I hope this has been beneficial. And if you have questions, you can certainly email me at Bob Nigrello at satco.com. Thank you.